Welcome back to Morning in America. I'm Mitch Carr. New warning signs for Democrats ahead of the November midterms. The Associated Press examines voter registration data of nearly 1.7 million voters in 42 states who switched parties over the past year. More than 1 million of them switched to the Republican camp versus 630,000 who flipped to Democrats. So that's a net gain of 370,000 for Republicans. And the shift to the GOP is particularly stark in suburban counties outside of cities like Denver, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. And those are places that helped fuel Democratic gains in previous election cycles and helped them take the House and Senate. Republicans also gained ground in medium-sized cities like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, Augusta, Georgia, and Des Moines, Iowa. To examine this, we've got Julia Manchester, national political reporter for The Hill, joining us now. And hey, suburban women specifically, that's what both of these parties are after. It looks like a lot of these suburban swing voters have left the Republican Party and now they're coming back. What's behind all this, Julia?
Yeah, Mitch, it is a complete switch from 2018 when we saw a groundswell of suburban voters, particularly those suburban white women voters, switch from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party during President Trump's first term in office. However, that's completely flipped on its head for President Biden's first term in office. Now, talking to voters in the suburbs outside of Washington, D.C., outside of Richmond and Virginia, one thing I hear is that the economy is their number one issue. Inflation, gas prices are really driving this discontent they have with the administration or Democratic leaders in Congress. And obviously, if you are a Democratic incumbent, that's not something you want to hear. However, I was talking to a number of Democrats yesterday about this issue of abortion access, and they're hoping this is an issue that they could potentially win over the suburban women voters and suburban voters in general and help maybe change the tide in their favor. But unclear if that will happen with the economy as the top issue.
And Julia, the way our electoral system works, you only get to vote in one primary. You don't get to vote in both. So there's a theory out there that some folks who are actually Democrats might have switched their affiliation to become Republicans to vote against certain candidates in the primaries, and that they're just going to vote Democratic in the general. Does that hold any water?
I haven't seen exact numbers, but I think every election cycle, whether it's a midterm, presidential, or off year, we hear about that theory, especially in these states where it's a closed primary or an open primary. But however, looking back in history, it doesn't seem like that's ever made a giant difference, especially in recent history. So, maybe we're seeing it some places, but I would look at this and say this should be a red flag for Democrats, especially in suburban. And it makes sense given the polling that shows heavy discontent with the economy.
Well, and along those lines, we had one voter in the Denver area tell the AP that it's more so a rejection of the left as opposed to embracing the right. He pointed to vaccine mandates, Democrats' focus on racial justice, and what he sees as their inability to curb violent crime. And so I want to know about that, too. I mean, we've been in this sort of Trump election cycle for what feels like forever, and folks maybe ran away from Trump. Now maybe they are running away from Biden and the Democrats. Is there water? Does that hold any water?
Yeah, well, it seems like 4 years ago we were talking about Republican voters or moderate-leaning independent voters maybe leaning to the right. We're switching to the Democratic side in an effort to run away from Trump. But now it's obviously the other way around. Look, I think that's very true. It could hold water in a number of places, especially when it comes to these cultural issues. Look, the country is divided heavily on cultural issues. The top story in the U.S. today continues to be the issue of abortion access, overturning Roe v. Wade, obviously violent crime, those other issues you mentioned. So I think Republicans have really drilled into those issues in 2021, especially in Virginia when we saw gubernatorial candidate, now Governor Glenn Youngkin, really focus on those cultural issues. At first, I think a lot of Democrats were skeptical those would hold water, but it seems like it's a big driving force for a lot of Republican and Republican-leaning voters.
Julia Manchester from The Hill, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Some good points raised there. Obviously, there are a lot of people looking for where their tribe is at a time when both parties seem to be plagued by just disunity, disharmony.
People are shifting more toward the middle. They don't want the extremes.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing.
That's why we're here. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.